and welcome to Wayne Catholic Memorial. We've got an exciting matchup as the Bells return home for the first time this month, welcoming the Fighting Irish on this Friday evening. I'm joined by Kellen Donahue as the Bells try to extend their win streak to 4 games. Kellen, how exactly do the Bells get this win?
Yeah, I think the Bells get this win by slowing down the athletic Sacred Heart Cathedral Fightin Irish guards. The Irish have really good guard play, and they're really quick. They can score at all levels. So I think the Bells have to play physical against them in order to slow them down and eventually lead them to a win in this game.
As the Bells come from Mitty, there's a lot of uncertainty with this team with a highly anticipated matchup versus Reardon unfortunately not happening due to a tuberculosis crisis up there in San Francisco. Kellen, what exactly can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so the story out of Reardon is that there was a tuberculosis outbreak last week, and it was 50 latent cases of tuberculosis, 3 active cases, which is determined as an outbreak. And so the school has gone to remote learning for this entire week and the entirety of next week. And as of my knowledge, all the Reardon players have tested negative for tuberculosis, and the Crusaders have continued their practices as usual. Originally, the Crusaders were supposed to play the Bells last Saturday at 4 o'clock here at Wayne Valley. That game was postponed, but a new date had not been set. That date was later set a few days ago for tomorrow, February 7th at 12 o'clock here at Wayne Valley. That game was then pushed back to 2 o'clock here, and then it was canceled by the Bells. So Bellarmine and St. Francis are the first 2 schools to cancel their games against the Crusaders after this tuberculosis outbreak. And as of our current knowledge, these games will not count as wins, losses, or ties. They will just appear as canceled, not forfeited by either side. Reardon will likely still make it to the Open Division or TCS playoffs, as they do have a 7-0 record in the league, and they are on a 12-game winning streak.
And for the Fighting Irish, they come into this game 1-8 with a desperate need for a win. What exactly do they need to do?
Yeah, I think they got to play fast. They're definitely the smaller team here. I think if they can get out in transition, get ahead, get to the rim, and hit some outside shots with their shooters, I think they'll be in good shape to compete with the Bells.
As we introduce our starting lineups.
Coaches, officials, and fans to tonight's contest between the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fightin Irish and your Bellarmine Bells. Please be reminded that sportsmanship is a high priority in all CIF CCS contests. The athletes playing tonight from both teams have worked very hard and appreciate your support and attendance at tonight's game. As fans, we ask that you give these student athletes your positive encouragement and support. And at this time, I ask all who are able to rise and remove any hands. In the spirit of sportsmanship and the Catholic values shared by Sacred Heart Cathedral Preparatory and Bellarmine College Prep, and all the schools of the West Catholic Athletic League, we will begin today's game with a prayer led by Father Michael Menelastis.
Loving Father, bless tonight all these children gathered here in this place. Help us to see how truly present you are in all things. We pray in thanksgiving for the many gifts you've sent the Bellarmine and Sacred Heart communities, and we ask you to give us the courage to use our gifts just as these young men do here tonight. Allow us to see with eyes open and hearts willing how much you love us and how you call us to live for your greater glory. In the name of our friend and brother, Jesus Christ, amen.
Please remain standing for the national anthem led by Diane Wyington, the Bellarmine Band. Introducing the starting lineup for the Fightin Irish, as announced by head coach Andrew Butcherbar. Number 0, Kyron Tate Day. Number 13, Corey Wong. Number 15, Elias Medios. Number 21, Nikki Williams. And number 23, Jaden Hector. Starting lineup for your Bellarmine Bells. At forward, a 6'5" senior, number 32, Ethan Lyles. At guard, a 6'5" senior, number 10, Sophia Stringfellow. At forward, a 6'2" senior, number 34, JJ Barton. And at forward, a 6'7" senior, number 2, Brennan Williams. A 6'2" senior, number 5, Will the Thrill Corbin. The Bells are led by Alex Surratt, as assisted by Alfred Duncan, Vince Carlton, and Siobhan Osborne.
We are underway here at Wayne Patrick Memorial. Brennan Williams versus Mickey Williams on the tip-off. Both the Williams. As we are underway here in Wayne Patrick Memorial. The Bells win the tip. Here's Will Corbett. See what the game plan is for Sacred Heart. Guarding Will Corbett. Gets to Brandon Williams. Now it's Sophie and Stringfellow. Stringfellow to JJ Barton. Inside to Ethan Lyles. Now it's cutting Corbett. Almost loses the ball. Kicks it out to Brandon Williams. He'll open the scrap with a 3, and that's off. Sophie and Stringfellow chases the rebound. Saves the ball to JJ Barton. Back to Brandon Williams. Williams outside Ethan Lyles, corner 3-pointer, banks it in! And he starts the scoring for the Bells.
Good spacing on that play for the Bells. Good ball movement as well, and a great play by Sophie on Springfield to save that ball out of bounds.
Now here's Kieran Tate Day, the star for Sacred Heart Cathedral. Inside is Mickey Williams, the lefty, posted up on Ethan Lyles, can't finish. Fight for the rebound, taken by Ethan Lyles, and he gets it to Will Corbett. Corbett, JJ Barton, inside is Stringfellow, can't hit the left reverse layup, and here is Kieran Tate Day. You're going to see the ball in his hands a lot today. Here is Corey Wong, driving on JJ Barton, back to Kieran Tate Day. Here's the kick out to Elias Medios. Inside, and it's a steal by Will Corbett. Fast break opportunity. Corbett lob to Brennan Williams. Bell's getting a little too fancy for the opening here. Now, and there's the turnover by Corey Wong. A little miscommunication between Wong and Mickey Williams, and the Bells will receive the ball back.
Yeah, I think the Bells are getting a little excited coming out of the gates here. You see Corbett trying to throw that lob, and Stringfellow getting a little fancy on the layup. I think they've got to take it easy and, build their lead first before they can have fun.
Interesting strategy here from the Fighting Irish. They start with Kieran Tate Day on Will Corbett as a fight for the ball on that pass to JJ Barton, and the Fighting Irish will get possession. As Corey Wong, the inbounder. Great hustle from Kieran Tate Day on that one.
Looks like the Bells are going to apply a little pressure here, see if they can force a turnover.
Here is Kieran Tate-Day back to Corey Wong, running a little two-man game, and that was out of bounds. Another turnover from Corey Wong there. That's his second of the game.
Seems like Fightin Irish getting a little flustered here to start the game. You know, you've obviously got that student section. They've been going crazy so far tonight.
Here's Stringfellow on the wing. Trying a little action for Corbett. Kieran Tate-Day guarding him. Corbett the drive inside, floats it up, won't go. Tip from Brendan Williams is good. And he's got the 5 points for the Bells so far. Here's Corey Wong, double team from Corbett. Now Corbett goes back. Here's Ilias Medios. Mickey Williams decides not to set the screen. Medios guarded by Stringfellow. Here's a three-pointer. That knocks it down. That was Jaden Hector, the freshman for Sacred Heart Cathedral. Now here's J.J. Barton, the drive on Kieran Tate-Day. Loses the ball. Here's Jaden Hector on the drive. Oh, he loses the ball as well. But it will stay Fighting Irish ball. Both teams getting a little sloppy here.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I think both sides need to calm down and make the reads, make the right play. You saw Barton get down there, pass it out, try to make a play, but obviously that didn't work. I think the Bells got to settle down.
Great inbound action. Jaden Hector throws it down. The freshman with the slam. Now here's Will Corbett. That's a big momentum shifter for Sacred Heart. I think they needed that early in the game. Here's Stringfellow working on Mickey Williams. Back to Will Corbett. Here's Brandon Williams in the post. Working on Jaden Hector. Outside Stringfellow, corner three. It's good. Sophie and Stringfellow gets on the board.
Great three from Stringfellow there.
Now here's Corey Wong. And a great steal from Stringfellow. He lost the ball. Oh, that's unfortunate in what's looking like a close game so far. That's a big play.
Number 20.
Boy, I love the energy coming out of the gates here from both teams. It's super fun to see when both teams want to start with super high intensity, coming out, coming after each other, getting pumped up to play.
As here comes Sacred Heart Cathedral, Kieran Tate-Day. Again, you're going to see the ball in his hands a lot today, and you're going to see a lot of defenders for the Bells, different types of looks for him. He's a pretty shifty guard. There's a kick out to Wyatt Lee. Here comes Isaiah Kennedy. Floater is good, and he knocks it down. Sacred Heart within one. Here's Will Corbett. So now, instead of having Tate-Day on him, they're going to bring Isaiah Kennedy on him. Here's Brendan Williams. The drive. Now working, kicks it to Ethan Lyles and back to Will Corbett. Will Corbett, now they double, and Ethan Lyles gets it. So they're going to double on those ball screens, as we saw on that one. Here's Brendan Williams from three. Tries his luck. He's on a couple of baskets today. Kieran Tate-Day on the fast break. Kicks it inside, almost a turnover for Sacred Heart. Now here's the drive from Andre Daniels. Kicks it back to Kieran Tate-Day. Kieran Tate-Day now working on Stringfellow. Uses that off arm. Now kicks to Andre Daniels for three. That won't go, and Stringfellow comes up with the rebound. Bodies diving on the deck for Sacred Heart. Stringfellow turns it over. That was a bad pass. And Sophie and Stringfellow's second turnover of the game.
You see that a lot with Stringfellow. You know, he makes a couple of plays. He gets excited. He wants to make a big time flashy play, and it doesn't always work out in his favor.
So now here's Kieran Tate-Day. A lot of the time, he's been the main floor general so far. Now he's Isaiah Kennedy. One of the rare looks where they have another guard getting it outside the three-point line. Andre Daniels, the kick to Cooper Ellis. He kicks it to Kieran Tate-Day. Back to Isaiah Kennedy. Kennedy loses the ball. Taken by Sam Boyd. Sam Boyd on the fast break. And the Bells will slow it down. Inside to Luka Chan in the post, the sophomore. The drive goes to Rourke, gets the foul call. And he will go to the line for his first free throw shots of the day.
And I like that from Sam Boyd there. You know, we've talked about early in this game how both teams come out with a lot of energy trying to make that play. I like how Sam Boyd is able to slow the tempo down. Then he's able to find Luka Chan inside, who gets fouled going up for two.
Chan on the first free throw is good.
Starting for the Irish, number 4, Trey Carey. Returning for Bellarmine, number 34,
As you see, Kieran Tate Day no longer in the game for the Fighting Irish. Definitely going to be a new ball handler for Sacred Heart for a long time in this game now that Kieran Tate Day has took his breather. And it is Isaiah Kennedy who starts with the ball for the Fighting Irish as Chan hits 2 free throws for his first points of the day. Kennedy, they let him go left. He'll take the drive, kicks it to Andre Daniels. Kick out for 3, Cooper Ellis knocks it down and ties the game for the Fighting Irish.
We've seen the Cathedral Fighting Irish taking a lot of those corner threes early in this game. See how that continues and if they can continue to make them.
Here's Luka Chan on the top of the key. Will Corbett no longer in the game for the Bells. We'll see who their main driver offensive force will be now without Will Corbett. Here's Luka Chan at the free throw line. Inside is Justin Familetti. Now Ethan Lyles back to J.J. Barton. J.J. Barton loses the ball. Some sloppy basketball from the Bells. Cooper Ellis, Andre Daniels on the fast break. Goes up for it and gets the foul call. Ethan Lyles will pick up the foul.
And you know, early in this game, I said that the Bells needed to be a more physical team, but it looks like the Fighting Irish have really been more physical, knowing that they're going up against the bigger Bellarmine lineup. And I think that's caused the game to be tied right now. I think it's allowed the Fighting Irish to stay in this game.
Yeah, they're showing physicality defensively and offensively as they take the lead with an Andre Daniels free throw. But overall, this Fighting Irish team is incredibly undersized against the bigs that the Bells have. So great job for them being physical. The Bells got to match that physicality if they want to get back up in this game as Andre Daniels goes 1 for 2. Rebound goes to J.J. Barton. Here's Justin Familetti, guarded by Isaiah Kennedy. He's putting some pressure on him in the backcourt. Here's Justin Familetti, gets out of the backcourt, gets to Luka Chan on the wing. Little screen action for Chan. Now working on Isaiah Kennedy. Here's Justin Familetti. Luka Chan will set another screen. Familetti kicks it to Sam Boyd. Ethan Lyles will now take the screen. And he's going to try to get in the post. Some weird spacing from the Bells with Chan and Ethan Lyles in the post. Here's J.J. Barton. And the shot clock running out. Ethan Lyles will fire. That won't go. Fight for the rebound. Taken by J.J. Barton. Those are the type of hustle plays you see from that guy. That's the reason he's starting.
That's a good play there from J.J. Barton, but the Bells are going to have to figure this out. I mean, all I saw in that possession was a bunch of dancing, trying to get a screen. But Fighting Irish have done a good job so far tonight. Sometimes trapping, sometimes backing off. And so it always keeps the Bells guessing.
Here's a suggestion, put in Will Corbett, which is what they do. And Corbett immediately gets a basket, throws it down on an incredible inbound play. Crowd going nuts for that one. Here's Isaiah Kennedy. Corbett putting the pressure on him. Now it's Andre Daniels. Daniels the drive. Brennan Williams gets his hands on it. Now here come the Fighting Irish. Kick out. Stolen by Corbett. Corbett, is he going to go up for another dunk? He does! Will Corbett has just sucked the energy out of the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish with 2 straight dunks immediately after getting in the game.
Man, back-to-back dunks for senior star Will Corbett. He's committed to Chico State, and he is the all-time leading scorer at Bellarmine College Prep, and he has only been adding to that this season. He broke that record, I believe, that it was down at the Torrey Pines tournament in San Diego, and he's done nothing but build on that. It's going to be hard to come close to what he's done and the impact that he's had on this Bellarmine basketball program in the future.
So Will Corbett, 2 straight baskets. That's changed the momentum in this game. Sacred Heart was being really physical, had an early lead, which is something you don't expect looking at the records of these teams. But after Will Corbett gets in the game, 2 baskets, and the momentum is on the Bell's side. Sacred Heart's got to get that momentum back as Isaiah Kennedy brings the ball up for the Fighting Irish. They double him immediately. He'll break the double, kick out to the corner. There's a drive and a steal as Trey Carey is met at the rim. He is down, slow to get up, and a turnover on the other end. J.J. Barton and Justin Familetti with a miscommunication.
Man, Trey Carey, he hit his head hard there on the ground. Probably take a sub.
Subbing in for the Irish, number 0, Kyron Tate.
It's a great breakdown of the defense, but unable to get through the wall of the Bells there. And just physical defense from the Bells. We talked about that. As here's Kieran Tate-Day back in the game. We saw a lot of ball handling from him early. Here's Isaiah Kennedy after the kickout from Jaden Hector. Isaiah Kennedy, good move, floats it up, won't go. And the Bells with no shot clock right now, as almost a turnover. Justin Familetti gets in the corner. Good pass inside Luka Chan. And the Bells on a 6-0 run. Here's Andre Daniels, excuse me, as here's Kieran Tate-Day. The drive, great steal from Justin Familetti. And a good foul from Jaden Hector, preventing a fast break opportunity for the Bells. That's been a big factor of the momentum right now.
And you've seen the Bells do this a lot in the first quarter, as well as the Fightin Irish. Both teams done a good job of this. I saw Brennan Williams just do it. They're breaking up screens.
Oh, great steal by Kennedy on that inbounds pass, when able to make the half-court heave. And the Bells will lead 5 after the first quarter. Cathedral found themselves up by 1, but the Bells went on a quick 6-0 run to stop that. All the momentum in the Bells' favor as we end 1.
Yeah, as I was saying, what you saw there from Brennan Williams a couple plays ago, when that screen is coming, he's able to go right up. He's able to run his chest right through the screener. And that allows for the guard to be thrown off course. He's not able to get downhill as easily, and then it kind of blows up the entire play, and then Cathedral is left at square one. So that was a really good job there. And the Irish have done it to the Bells a lot, as you saw a couple possessions ago, where the Bells were just going through screens the whole time, and it was really hard to get a shot out. You had the Ethan Lyles 3 at the end. But that's a really good job for both teams defensively, and I think a lot of that will continue, and we'll see how both teams counteract that from each other as this game goes on.
Boy, you can see the energy in this building. Just the end of the first quarter. As we start the second quarter, Corey Wong, the inbounder. Kieran Tate-Day at the end of that first quarter, he wasn't really the ball handler. They stuck with Isaiah Kennedy. Now Isaiah Kennedy out of the game. And Kieran Tate-Day will take over ball handling privileges. Kick out to Corey Wong in the corner for 3. Those were the type of shots we saw early in this game for Sacred Heart Cathedral. And Corey Wong knocks down the 3 to start the scoring for the second quarter. As here is Sophie and Stringfellow. Back to Brennan Williams. Will Corbett trying to move off the ball. They're trying to get it to him. Now they give it to Ethan Lyles. Inside is J.J. Barton. J.J. Barton working back to Brennan Williams, who will shoot. Oh, no, passes it out to Sophie and Stringfellow. Corner drive. Now kicks it to Will Corbett. And Corbett almost loses the ball. That'll be a foul on Kieran Tate-Day. He is not happy with that one. But the Bells will keep possession.
That was on number 0. Kieran Tate-Day. That's his first team foul.
Corbett, the inbounder. The inbounder is always the most dangerous on these type of possessions. Here's Ethan Lyles. Now to Brennan Williams on the wing, guarded by Mickey Williams. That's a matchup we've seen today. Will Corbett, step back 3. That's an air ball. You wonder if that was a foul. Corbett went down hard there. And Sacred Heart will get the ball. A rare air ball from Will Corbett there.
That's a bit of trend with Corbett so far this season. He's missed a lot short. When he usually misses, it's short, but he doesn't miss often.
Here's Jaden Hector, setback jumper on that one, and he misses. The 6'5" freshman for the Fighting Irish. He's got a future here for this Fighting Irish varsity basketball program. Here's Ethan Lyles. Lyles on the top of the key. Here's Sophie and Stringfellow. Stringfellow, mid-range jumper on the way. It's good. Stringfellow's got 5. The Bells lead by 4.
It looks like Lyles may have pulled something in his leg on that last play. He went to go set a screen away for, I believe it was J.J. Barton. And he just fell down, and he's grabbing his leg. So hope he's good. Hope he can stay in the game and continue playing for the Bells today.
It's a pretty tough guy, as he looks like he will stay in the game for these Bells. One of the better hustlers in this league. They have 2 of the best hustlers in this league, in J.J. Barton and Ethan Lyles. Would be a big loss for the Bells. Here's Corey Wong. A little slow on the action. Here's now Ilias Medios on the wing. Back to Jaden Hector, the freshman. Playing some ice ball. They double him. Now to Kieran Tate Day. Kieran Tate Day working outside to the corners. Mickey Williams. Now here's Kieran Tate Day with the ball. They've seen him have the ball a lot. Now they're playing iso ball on Will Corbett. Kieran Tate Day. Step back three-pointer won't go. Great defense from Corbett. Kind of let him shoot that one in the end. Here's Brennan Williams, the drive. Gets inside. It's good. No foul call. The Sacred Heart Cathedral coaches are unhappy about that one, but Brennan Williams with his third bucket of the game there. Now here's Corey Wong, pulls into a three. It's good. He answers right back for the Sacred Heart Cathedral as they cut the lead back to 3.
Bells are going to need to watch out for Corey Wong. I believe that's his third 3-ball of the game, and this is only the beginning of the second quarter.
What a great start for Corey Wong here for these Fighting Irish. Here's Brennan Williams in the corner. A rare action where they don't see Will Corbett moving without the ball, as Brennan Williams will take it inside himself and get the foul call. Looks like it'll be on the floor. Foul on Elias Medios. That's Sam Boyd in the game now for the Bells. Out goes J.J. Barton. Looks like Corbett will be the inbounder. I thought that foul would be a shooting foul, but looks like it's on the floor. What do you think, Kellen?
Yeah, I think that's on the floor. You know, when Williams was going up, he wasn't necessarily going towards the hoop. He was looking and trying to pass out to the top of the key.
There's Sam Boyd. Back to Will Corbett. Now here's Isaiah Kennedy back in the game, and looks like Kieran Tate Day is out. Corbett, the drive inside. He was eventually going to get his bucket. And on an ISO play, Will Corbett gets his, I believe, first basket of the game. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I do believe that's his first basket of the game. You see Corbett using his back. He puts his back to the basket almost at the three-point line. Knowing that he's stronger, he's able to back down Isaiah Kennedy and then make his move to get around for the layup. Really smart play there from Corbett, using his size to his advantage.
Jaden Hector, the inbounder, as Brennan Williams, with the steal, saves it. It'll go to Isaiah Kennedy. Kennedy, the kick out, back to Kennedy. Sacred Heart tries to play fast. Kennedy inside, floats it up. Corbett gets the rebound. Corbett, the drive inside, floats it up and in. And he's got his second basket of the game. Correction, that was not Will Corbett's first basket of the game. He had 2 baskets earlier that shifted the entire momentum of this game for the Bells. He's got 8 right now. Sofian Stringfellow almost dropped the ball, then loses it again. Now here's Isaiah Kennedy. Corey Wong back to Jaden Hector for 3. Knocks it down. Sacred Heart just staying in this game, not letting this lead get to double digits, even though the Bells try. Sam Boyd tries to answer, and he's unable to. Now here is Corey Wong. Corey Wong, the drive, floats it up. That won't go on the mid-range jumper. Rebound goes to Wyatt Lee, and he won't make it. Rebound goes to Brennan Williams now as the Bells try to play fast. Brennan Williams, the drive, and a timeout for the Bells. Coach Surratt doesn't like what he sees there. As the Bells lead by 4, much needed breather for these guys.
Yeah, I think that's a good timeout by Coach Surratt. Giving them 30 seconds, quick 30 to just take a rest. We've seen that in the past couple of minutes. It's just been straight action up and down the court. A lot of transition. So he's giving his guys a break, and he's going to get them into an offensive set here. I also think he may not have liked that play where Brennan Williams pretty much just let Corey Wong get the rebound down there. I think you might want to talk to him about that, being the more physical and more dominant team on the boards.
Yeah, but we've seen through this game, even with the size matchup between the Fighting Irish and the Bells, lots of times physicality can outnumber that. And we saw that earlier in this game, so it's important for these Bells to still be as physical as possible in order to secure this win, a much-needed win for the Bells. Here is Will Corbett to Luka Chan on the wing. Now Sam Boyd, great ball movement here for the Bells. Luka Chan trying to get in the post. Leka Laputi, his first minutes. Luka Chan will drive inside. Won't go, gets the rebound, puts it up and in! And one. That's the type of physicality that the Bells need. And Luka Chan will try to extend this lead to 7 with his second basket of the day.
And Luka Chan, as a young sophomore, he showed that he's not just one of those guys who's going to go up once and get back on defense. No, even if he misses that first layup, he's still going to go up and get that rebound. You saw that especially in that game against St. Francis, where he was working hard in the post. And I think that's a good position for him, especially when the Bells can identify those mismatches and get guys like Luka Chan on a guy like Cooper Ellis, a smaller guard.
Here's Isaiah Kennedy now bringing the ball up for the Fighting Irish. Kennedy out to the corner. That's Cooper Ellis for 3. We've seen a lot of those corner threes, mostly from Corey Wong. Cooper Ellis unable to knock that down here. Here's Corbett the drive. Off the ball. Great defense from Mickey Williams. Now here's Andre Daniels with the drive on the fast break. So that turnover, points off turnovers, that's a big no-no for the Bells as well. Corbett gets it back, gets to the rim, and puts it up and in for the Bells as they extend their lead back to 7. Corbett with an answer. Now here's Isaiah Kennedy guarded by Sam Boyd. I think that's the first time we've seen Sam Boyd on Isaiah Kennedy here. Ilias Medios kick out to Cooper Ellis in the corner. Doesn't shoot that 3. Ilias Medios won't go. Rebound goes to Sam Boyd. Looks like they should stick with Corey Wong taking those 3s. As Will Corbett will try to drive again, but get fouled in the process, stopping the game. What a sequence there for the Bells.
Yeah, really good there. You saw Will Corbett, he was just cutting up through all those defenders, taking it coast to coast and finishing with the left on the right side. That's a technique finish, and you don't see it a lot at the high school level. Pretty hard to do, especially when you got a defender right there.
Now here's Corbett taking a double screen from Chan and Williams. Williams will fire up a 3. It's good! He leads the Bells in scoring as they get their first double-digit lead of the day. Now here is Andre Daniels, now bringing the ball up instead of Isaiah Kennedy. So we've seen all 3 of their ball handlers play here today for the Fighting Irish. This here's Cooper Ellis, tries a mid-range jumper, that's in and out, almost goes through for his first basket of the day. And here comes Will Corbett, now guarded by Isaiah Kennedy. They switch the matchup, now here's Luka Chan. The drive and the kick to J.J. Barton, who's back in the game for the Bells. Noah Gray guarding him. Now here's Will Corbett. Mid-range jumper, that won't go, and Andre Daniels is going to get the rebound. Daniels on the fast break. Daniels will take it inside, get the foul, count it, and 1. Goes to the deck hard. Andre Daniels, the shifty guard out of junior San Francisco Buena Vista. And he is down, slow to get up. Nope, he gets up and he will go to shoot his free throws. What a drive inside by him.
Yeah, I thought the Bells might get away with that foul being on the ground, but Daniels continued his motion and was able to finish. So the referees gave it to him for the and 1.
Good call from the referees here, as Andre Daniels will shoot the free throw. Sacred Heart's got a lot of shifty guards on their team, able to generate lots of points there. The defense has been an issue most of this season with them being undersized in most of their matchups. This here's Justin Familetti. We see him back in the game. Isaiah Kennedy to Brendan Williams. Brendan Williams the drive. Oh, what a move, but turns it over. Getting a little flashy with that one.
Man, what a move from Brendan Williams, being able to pick it up over the defender. That's quite the move there. And that behind the back dish, I just don't think Luka Chan was really expecting that. And I mean, I wouldn't be either. That was a crazy move, and I would have expected Williams to finish as well.
Now here's Isaiah Kennedy. So we saw Andre Daniels bringing the ball up for the Fighting Irish as they trap Kennedy. But now we see Kennedy bringing the ball up again. Now here's Medios. Back to Dejan Mayfield, the junior. And the kick back to Medios. And there's a turnover. Great steal from Justin Familetti as he slows it down. Good play from Justin Familetti on the steal. And slowing it down, making sure that this game doesn't get too chaotic. That's what the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish like. They'll give them what they like. Now here's J.J. Barton in the post. Goes up physically, doesn't get the call. And here is Isaiah Kennedy. Now on the wing. Kennedy guarded by Sam Boyd. And it's back to Dejan Mayfield. Dejan Mayfield takes a screen from Ilias Medios. Dejan Mayfield into Ilias Medios. Back to Dejan Mayfield. Long three-pointer. Won't go. They go for the 2-for-1. Here is Ilias Medios with the finish.
That's
a careless mental mistake right there from the Bells. Mistakes like that could give the other team a spark to get back into the game. Got a rebound.
Now here's Justin Familetti to Sam Boyd. Sam Boyd, mid-range jumper. He's got it. Solid drive and mid-range jumper. Just a pretty good move from Sam Boyd, being physical on that one. As the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish will take this to the half. Kennedy, and there's a foul call with 2 seconds to go. On the ground, so they will inbound. Doesn't look like the Bells are in the bonus, so Sacred Heart will have 2.4 seconds to try and cut into this lead even more. They've been staying right there for the majority of this matchup. The Bells have had one double-digit lead. See if they can cut in more. As here's Jaden Hector at the buzzer. Won't go. And the Bells lead by 7 at half. Great physical first half of basketball we've seen here. As the Bells lead by 7 as expected. They take a lead as we go into this half with just 2 more quarters left to play.
Yeah, I really like that last play from the Bells. You know, it's kind of a two-sided coin. You don't want to give up the 3, but you also can't foul. Now, Sacred Heart Cathedral has shown the Bells so far that they have incredible three-point shooters. And I think what the Bells did really well on that last play was just straight hands up. They didn't get fouled, right? They didn't foul them, and they didn't allow for an easy 3. So I think the Bells did a good job there, winning that last possession and taking the lead into the half.
All right, boys, we're gonna take a pause here as we're at half. We'll rejoin you when the third quarter starts. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the second half of this exciting matchup as the Bells return back for the second half. What are some key needs for the Bells here in this second half if they want to keep on to their lead and win this game?
Yeah, I think the two things that the Bells need to do in this second half is, one, slow down the pace. They've been playing fast all game. They've been getting out in transition. And, you know, sometimes they get good transition buckets. For example, Will Corbett and Brendan Williams have been doing that well tonight. But I think the other key piece to the second half for the Bells is rebounding. I think if the Bells are able to secure those rebounds and pitch it ahead, I think that'll work out in their favor. And for the Irish tonight, they've been doing a good job on the offensive boards. They've been competing for those boards. So I think the Bells got to come out and get the boards. And finally, one thing I'll add is to engage more physically on defense. The Cathedral Fightin Irish have done that really well tonight. And I think if the Bells want to match the intensity, they got to do that as well.
As we start the second half, here's Brendan Williams on the inbound. As this crowd is fired up so far. For good reason with those two Will Corbett dunks. We know exactly why they are fired up. This has been a good game so far as Corbett will start the second half with the ball. Gets it to Stringfellow on the wing, back to Will Corbett, and here is J.J. Barton. J.J. Barton into Ethan Lyles on the free throw line. Kick out to Sophie and Stringfellow on the wing. Brendan Williams in the corner, drives inside, floats up a mid-range jumper, that's off. Rebound goes to Ilias Medios for the Fighting Irish as they get their first possession of the second half. Now here's Kieran Tate-Day. We haven't seen him in a bit. Had a lot of ball handling responsibilities earlier in this game. Now to Jaden Hector, the freshman on the corner, and Kieran Tate-Day. We'll see what they do here. Kieran Tate-Day, the drive, great. As he moved there, almost lost the ball. Now here's Jaden Hector, will fire a mid-range jumper. That won't go. Rebound goes to Corbett, and he gets fouled by Mickey Williams. So the Fighting Irish bringing out their original starting lineup to start this second half here.
And he didn't see it much in the first half, but that's the type of plays that you see out of Tate-Day. He's able to be really shifty, and he's got a bunch of dribble combinations in his bag.
Now here's Will Corbett, back to Brendan Williams on the top of the key. Here's J.J. Barton. Corbett will get a look for three. That won't go. Stringfellow mistimes the rebound. Now here comes Kieran Tate-Day. Now here's a corner three from Ilias Medios on the other side. That worked a lot for the Fighting Irish in the first half. Didn't work there. They missed a couple earlier in the first half as well. And Corey Wong's not shooting it. The chances of that shot going down are slim to none. That's a foul on number 0, Kieran Tate-Day. That's his second. Now here's Will Corbett inbounding to J.J. Barton. J.J. Barton back to Corbett. Corbett in the corner working on Kieran Tate-Day. Will drive inside. Goes, oh, great defense from Kieran Tate-Day. It'll stay Bellarmine basketball. That's a great deflection from Kieran Tate-Day, staying with Corbett the entire way.
And Tate-Day does a good job staying down on defense. He doesn't try to jump and make a hero play. He knows he just committed his second foul, and a third one could mean a substitution. But he makes a good choice there by staying down.
Brendan Williams will fire a long three-pointer. That's going to end in a loose ball foul on the Bells. I believe that was J.J. Barton. Way to get on the date. Death by Kieran Tate-Day.
Bellarmine's first team.
As Tate-Day will bring the ball up for the Fighting Irish. Tate-Day to Jaden Hector. Brendan Williams not committing to the double, but looking like he's going to. Here's Ilias Medios from three, knocks it down, and that'll open the second half scoring for the Fighting Irish as they cut the lead to 4. They're just staying with the Bells the entire way. The Bells have only had one double-digit lead. The Bells are going to pull away at some point. Here's Will Corbett, step back three-pointer on the top of the key to answer. That won't go. Rebound goes to Corey Wong. Corey Wong, he's hit 3 threes today. Now to the corner is Jaden Hector. That's an air ball. Looked like it was tipped by somebody. Now here is J.J. Barton on the rebound. And to Will Corbett, who will take it inside, get the foul call, and one! Will Corbett opens the second half scoring for Bellarmine.
That is a very high-level finish from Corbett. He's leaning left, and at the last second, he's able to switch the ball between his hands and put it up with the right. You know, that's a very hard skill to have. It's just, he makes it look so easy out there. It's very difficult in reality.
A 3-point play.
I mean, the Bells, you know, they've got the size matchup. They've also got to have the fast matchup. I mean, we've seen the Fighting Irish have a bunch of shifty guards with Tate Day and Andre Daniels, but having someone like Will Corbett be able to make those shifty moves will help them beat the Fighting Irish on that part as Corey Wong gets it to Kieran Tate Day. Back to Corey Wong on the wing. There's Wyatt Lee, back to Ilias Medios, and Jaden Hector, the drive, goes inside, gets the foul call, goes up physically, tried to get the N1 and answer for the Fighting Irish. Gets the next best thing of 2 free throws.
And I really like that play design there for the Irish. They're able to get Jaden Hector open on the wing. He could have taken that 3 if he wanted to, but he drove in and got the foul going up. So I think that's a result that the Irish will like, and they'll definitely live with that.
Again, you see some of these missed corner threes. Looks like the Irish should indeed pivot to getting inside to the basket, trying to get as many points as possible, make this a physical game, which they had in the beginning when they had that early lead. As Jaden Hector, misses short on that one. Airball 3 earlier, and misses short on that one. Still got a second try here for the Fighting Irish, as he will miss it again. So goes 0 for 2. Brendan Williams tries to get the rebound. It'll stay Fighting Irish basketball. Sloppy play from Brendan Williams on that one.
I think a lot of credit can be given on those free throws to the Bellarmine student section. They were going crazy trying to throw them off. It looks like they've got the ESPN booth down there with their suits and headsets.
They try the inbounds play. Corbett gets the steal. Fast break opportunity inside Familetti. And Familetti gets a deflection. It'll go Sacred Heart ball. But a great play from Familetti, and then hustling to get that deflection and stop whatever fast break or fast-paced play that the Fighting Irish were trying to do there. As out goes Kieran Tate Day and Corey Wong in, Andre Daniels and Isaiah Kennedy. Seen a lot of those 2-guard lineups for the Fighting Irish. They double out to Ilias Medios in the corner. And back to Isaiah Kennedy. Now here's Andre Daniels. Daniels to Kennedy on the top of the key. Drives inside. Kick out to Andre Daniels. Daniels floats it up and out. Rebound goes to Ethan Lyles. So we can see the Bells doing a good job on these shifty guards for the Fighting Irish. Will Corbett, good move. Drives inside. Floats it up. It's good. Will Corbett. We saw Kennedy trying to pull the chair, but Corbett finished anyway.
What a finish there from Will Corbett.
Here's Kennedy on the top of the key now. Gets a screen from Wyatt Lee. Here's Ilias Medios now on the wing, guarded by Sam Boyd. Medios drives inside, floats it up and out. Rebound goes to Sam Boyd. Bells being really physical defensively. Medios ends up on the ground late to the play. Here's Sam Boyd. Floats it up and out. Fight for the rebound, taken by Jaden Hector. He's got to run here if they want this to be a fast break opportunity, and they'll have to reset. Here's Daniels, the drive inside. Daniels floats it up and in, and the Fighting Irish will get the lead back to 9. A much-needed basket for these Fighting Irish.
And I think if you're the Bells and if you're playing fast, that's kind of the way that Cathedral wants you to play, right? They've got those quick guards. They have energy. They're ready to go. I think something that the Bells can do a little bit better is slowing down the pace, making those good reads, making those plays, and getting the ball to your scorers. And then, obviously, that last play, an amazing finish from Will Corbett. I mean, falling down and throwing it up. I mean, we've seen pretty much everything out of him throughout his career at Bellarmine. And he just continues to impress, even in his final games of his senior year.
I mean, all those isolation plays, they've tried absolutely everything we saw earlier. On a ball screen, they tried to double. They tried to guard him one-on-one. Isaiah Kennedy even tried pulling the chair on him on the drive, but Will Corbett's able to finish anyway. It's just a testament to how good of a basketball player that man is.
And something else that you've seen is on some possessions, the Bells will switch into a 2-3 zone, and they'll send Sam Boyd and Will Corbett around the perimeter, going to follow the ball and go force the ball out of their hands. You saw that, and it forced a big cross-court pass that I think could have been stolen by Ethan Lyles.
So now they're pressing up with Daniels on Corbett. Luka Chan will set a screen far from the basket. Now here's Brandon Williams. Back to Corbett on the wing. Looks like they might bring a double screen. Now Luka Chan will go to the top of the key. Here's Sam Boyd. Sam Boyd working on Daniels. A screen from Brandon Williams. Now here's Justin Familetti. Back to Sam Boyd on the top of the key. Now here is Brandon Williams again. Back to Luka Chan on the top of the key. Will Corbett from three. Won't go. He's missed a lot of those three-point shots. His baskets have mostly come from those isolation plays or fast break opportunities. Now here is Jaden Hector back to Isaiah Kennedy. Kennedy almost lost the ball. Brandon Williams almost took that away from him. Now here's the drive and from the kick out to Isaiah Kennedy. Now here is Jaden Hector in the corner. Will try from deep. That's an air ball. We've seen him miss a lot of those. Very short or an air ball. Missed 2 free throws. Luka Chan with that turnover on the fast break there. Just an errant pass. We saw those early from Sophie and Stringfellow and now from Luka Chan. I mean, that just can't happen if you're the Bells.
And on the previous possession for Bellarmine offensively, you saw the Fighting Irish go into a 2-3 zone, and they kind of handed back that favor from the Bells. And we'll see how the Bells attack that. They didn't do a very good job. They just found a quick pocket for a 3 with Corbett. We'll see what they do differently in the future.
Here's Wyatt Lee, that was Corey Wong to Isaiah Kennedy, who will fire a mid-range jumper and cut the lead back to 7 for the Fighting Irish. Now here's Luka Chan. They're trying to get it back to Corbett. Instead, they'll give it to Brandon Williams. Brandon Williams drive inside, kick out Sam Boyd for 3. That won't go. Rebound gets to Isaiah Kennedy. It went right to him. Nothing Luka Chan could have done on that one. Inside, Wyatt Lee. Great pass from Isaiah Kennedy. And Wyatt Lee will finish on that one. Now here's Corbett working on Corey Wong. Gets a double screen, Luka Chan did not set that screen. Corbett dribbles it off his foot, now gets the ball back. Here's Corbett. Crossover, drive inside, floats it up, gets the foul call. Looks like that was not on the ground, that was in the shooting motion, so Will Corbett will go to the line for the Bells.
His first SAC's 14th foul. Will Corbett to the line, shooting 2.
And Wyatt Lee there is not happy with the call. Brandon Williams played very aggressively down there with him. And he threw that elbow in to seal and make that seal so he could get open under the hoop. And Wyatt Lee didn't like that physicality.
In for the Bells is Sophie and Stringfellow and Ethan Lyles. So 4 of the 5 starters for the Bells today in the game. The older one, Justin Familetti, who takes the place of J.J. Barton. This game is pretty close. It's just a 7-point game. This is a deficit that the Fighting Irish can definitely recover from. They've stayed with the Bells the entire way. You got to give credit to these Fighting Irish. They've been fighting well today. As here's Brendan Williams on the steal, a bad pass. And Brendan Williams throws it down. That will not count. Looks like that could be a transition take foul.
Foul is on number 23.
Either that was a transition take foul for the Bells, Kellen?
Yeah, I don't think they have the transition take foul at the high school level, but I really like what Williams has been doing. You know, a lot of these Cathedral players have been complaining about the calls, and Brendan Williams has been playing physical. He shows that he simply does not care about what they think. They're mad. They want the technical for that late dunk. But I like what Brandon Williams has done, playing physically aggressive, getting those steals and get to the hoop, get fouled.
It's also a momentum shifter for the Bells. I mean, they need to break away from this being up 7 points or 8 points or 9 points or even 10 to be able to extend their deficit. They need it desperately, so that late dunk was maybe an attempt at that momentum as he knocks down the first free throw to get the lead back up to 8 for the Bells. Brandon Williams on the second free throw. Knocks it down. So now a 9-point game. This is where the deficit the lead has stalled for the Bells. Takers are doing a great job making sure it doesn't get above that. As here's Jaden Hector, the drive inside. Can't finish. He's missed a lot today. Missed those 2 corner threes, missed those 2 free throws, and missing the layup there. Justin Familetti on the pump fake. Inside is Brendan Williams. Floats it up and out. Tip taken by Isaiah Kennedy. Kennedy on the fast break. They're playing fast here when they have the ball in those guards' hands. As here's Will Corbett on the turnover from Isaiah Kennedy. Corbett the drive. Corbett now inside, great pass to Justin Familetti. What a finish, spinning inside on the reverse layup. And the Bells finally have their largest lead of the game at 11.
And two great passes there. Obviously that one on the last play from Will Corbett, but the other one, I really like that pitch ahead that he did on the last play to Familetti. That's something they teach in the Bellarmine basketball program.
And what a finish from Justin Familetti on that one. Takes a lot of athleticism there as Isaiah Kennedy tries to answer, and he does. Gets the lead back to 9. Here's Brennan Williams on the top of the key. Now Will Corbett's now moving off the ball. Now here's Sophie and Stringfellow on the wing. Stringfellow to drive, step back, mid-range jumper on the way. That won't go, and Andre Daniels with the rebound. They don't play fast there. They reset. Here's Andre Daniels working on Justin Familetti. Drives inside, floats it up. Blocked by Ethan Lyles. And it will, looks like it stays Fighting Irish basketball. Ethan Lyles with an incredible defensive play again. Those are the reasons why he starts on this team.
Number 0, Kyron Tate. Number 15.
Kyron Tate Day back in the game, including Elias Midiots for the Fighting Irish. Excuse me, correct me, that was Bellarmine basketball. The fight for the rebound led to it being off of Sacred Heart Cathedral, so Brennan Williams will inbound, get it to Will Corbett. As he is now guarded by Trey Carey. We haven't seen much of him today, but now guarding one of the best players in the league on Will Corbett. And that'll be an illegal screen on Brennan Williams. He looks confused with the call.
Brennan Williams, his second.
Didn't see much there.
Yeah, I think Williams had a little bit of a hop there, trying to set that screen, and he really wanted to make sure that Trey Carey ran into him. And that goes along with the physical intensity that Williams has played with in the second half.
Great steal from Corbett. Will he go up for the dunk? Yes, he does! His third one of the day! Now here's Andre Daniels. Great pump fake, drive inside, floats it up. And that'll be on the ground, it looks like. That's a little confusing. I thought that was in the shooting motion.
Fouls on number 11, Justin Familetti.
Fouls on Justin Familetti.
Bellarmine's 4th.
That'll be the Bellarmine's 4th, Justin Familetti's 1st on the day. As we saw, that was a great pump fake from Andre Daniels. We see they're running those two guard lineups, lots of shiftiness on the floor at all times for the Fighting Irish. Now they have a one guard lineup with Andre Daniels. As the shot doesn't go for Corey Walker, it's deflected by Ethan Lyles, and that will end the third quarter. We've got 8 minutes of basketball here in Wayne Patrick Memorial. Bellarmine leads 49-38 as they try to hold their lead and win this game.
It's been great situational defense for the Bells. You saw it at the end of the second quarter, and now you see it at the end of the third. They have a few seconds left, and they're usually on defense in these scenarios, and they've done a great job just getting their hand up, making the block, just staying in front, not committing any fouls. They've done a really good job with those. And I think in the fourth quarter, if this game ends up being close, that's something that could potentially serve them well.
And for the Fighting Irish, you're now playing from behind. You've got to continue to play that fast-paced basketball that you've been doing. Get those shifty guards in, love those two guard lineups, and try to get into this deficit as quickly as possible to make this a game.
Yeah, I think what the Irish really have to do is get 2 feet in the paint and kick it out for threes. They have great shooters all over the floor, and if they can break down this Bellarmine defense, get them to collapse in the paint like they were doing in the first quarter and kick it out for threes, that could actually be a pretty good strategy for them if they wanted to come back in this one.
So here is Kieran Tate Day. Like I said, those two shifty guards, Isaiah Kennedy and Kieran Tate Day in the game for the Fighting Irish. They're going to need them to play well if they want to win this game. Here's Jaden Hector on the drive, in and out. Boy, those shots cannot go for him. You can see the frustration on his lip right now as he gets to the line to make this a single-digit game once again.
Fouls on number 2, Brennan Williams.
Foul on Brennan Williams as Jaden Hector tries to get a basket for the first time in a long time. The freshman, only freshman on this team for the Fighting Irish. One of the biggest aspects of the future for the Fighting Irish varsity basketball team as he knocks down the first free throw, gets it to 10. See if he can knock down the second free throw. And he Misses, so Brendan Williams gets the rebound. The lead will stay at 10. Here's Will Corbett. He's going to be guarded by Isaiah Kennedy. Corbett to Ethan Lyles. Back to Corbett. Corbett, they don't bring the double there. Now Corey Wong guarding him one-on-one. Corbett the drive, blocked by Corey Wong. Good defense. He tries to save it. Isaiah Kennedy gets the ball. They're playing that fast break basketball as Kennedy misses the layup. Tip taken by Wyatt Lee, and Will Corbett trying to get the ball. It'll be a jump ball. See whose possession it is, and it will be Bellarmine basketball.
And that's something that you cannot do. That's the second time the Bells have done this tonight. Brendan Williams did it earlier. When you're saving the ball out of bounds, you never want to save it under the opponent's hoop. Excuse me, it was only one time. Brendan Williams did it earlier. That was my mistake. But still, you don't want to throw it too far ahead to just give the other team an easy layup like Isaiah Kennedy almost had.
So here's Justin Familetti. Corbett's out of the game. If the Fighting Irish do want to make a run, it's right now with Will Corbett, the star player for the Bells, on the bench, taking a breather before he'll eventually, if this game gets close, get in the game again. Here's Sophie Stringfellow on the wing. Now back to Brendan Williams on the other wing. Here's Brendan Williams guarded by Wyatt Lee. Will go to work in the paint. Stolen. Jaden Hector tries to save it. Isaiah Kennedy gets the ball. Great hustle play from Jaden Hector. None of his shots have been going today, so making those type of plays. Now he drives inside, floats it up, won't go. Fight for the rebound, gets it. Back to Wyatt Lee. Back to Isaiah Kennedy. Those are two fight for the rebounds that the Fighting Irish have gotten. Coach Surratt's got to be unhappy about that one. Now here's Corey Wong, drives on Brendan Williams, floats it up and in, and the Fighting Irish are within weight once again, trying to keep this a single-digit game. As here is Justin Familetti on the top of the key to Ethan Lyles on the wing. Now here's Brendan Williams on the top of the key. Back to Justin Familetti, and Sophie Stringfellow loses. Oh, that was a bad pass from Justin Familetti, and Jaden Hector gets on the ground to get that ball. It'll be Sacred Heart Cathedral basketball. Jaden Hector again making those type of plays, but his shot not going today.
Yeah, good defensive possession there. And I just think it was a little bit of a bad pass there from Familetti. The Bells have a lot of these actions in the horn set where a pass happens and the guard comes up towards the top, and a lot of times those plays can get broken up by the defense.
There's Isaiah Kennedy to Corey Wong. Back to Kieran Tate-Day on the other wing. Now here is Corey Wong from three. Knocked down a few of those in the first half. That one goes over the backboard, off the rim. That one doesn't go. Looks like the corner is his sweet spot. As we'll see what they do to try and get the basketball here, as the Bells will get possession next. So you don't see anything going on right now. Looks like they'll use another basketball to try and get this off the backboard. Luka Chan misses, then gets it on the second try. And Luka Chan will now inbound for the Bells, as they find themselves with under 6 minutes to go, up by 8. Here's Justin Familetti. They're bringing it up slow. The Bells, they want to play a slow pace game. They're in the lead. Want to make sure the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish can't play their fast-paced brand of basketball that was working for them earlier. Here is J.J. Barton. J.J. Barton in the post, blocked by Jaden Hector again. He's making those defensive plays. Corey Wong, oh, he turns it over. You can see the frustration on Isaiah Kennedy, Corey Wong, and Andre Daniels' face on that one. That's just a miscommunication. Those things can't happen when you're trying to climb from a deficit. Here's Justin Familetti. Will Corbett still not in the game. Now he's at the scorer's table. As I say that, now Sam Boyd goes to the scorer's table. Here's Justin Familetti on the wing. Now Luka Chan on the top of the key. J.J. Barton now on the wing. Ethan Lyles looks like they're drawing an action from the post. Nope, there's Stringfellow on the top of the key for three. That won't go. Tip taken by Luka Chan. What a tip from Ethan Lyles. Boy, he made that one look easy with his height. Just boxed him out, tipped it to Luka Chan, and Chan makes the basket to get the lead back to double digits. Now here's Isaiah Kennedy, the drive inside, floats it up and out, gets his own rebound. Oh, great physicality from him there. Now he's on the deck, and that'll be Bellarmine basketball. I mean, excuse me, was that a timeout for the Bells?
And a timeout taken by the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish. That is a very good timeout from their coach, Coach Bar.
30-second timeout.
And it's crucial because, you know, your guy's on the floor and he doesn't have anywhere to pass it to, right? He's surrounded by the Bells. So a great call for timeout there. Now you get the ball in a favorable position. You can set up your play and hopefully for them score off of it.
Yeah, Isaiah Kennedy having to make that drive and get that rebound and get on the floor. That just shows his dedication to this game and trying to get the the Fighting Irish back from this deficit. He's been putting in a lot of effort in this game. Him and those three guards, they got the ball a lot of times in their hands, and on defense, they're making an effort with whoever they're guarding, whether it's Will Corbett or Justin Familetti or Sam Boyd. You can clearly see that effort made there. With under 5 minutes to go, the Bells lead by 10. Here's Wyatt Lee to Corey Wong. Guarded by Will Corbett. Now here's Andre Daniels. Daniels double teamed inside Wyatt Lee. Gets the ball inside. Loses the basketball. That'll be Bellarmine ball. Those are the type of turnovers you just can't see if you're the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, especially now when you're down 10. You can't afford any simple little mental mistakes like that. You got to take care of the basketball and get a good shot.
So here's Ethan Lyles now guarded by Wyatt Lee. Back to Will Corbett. Now he's guarded by Corey Wong. Drives inside. Bad pass. That'll be Fighting Irish ball. I don't know what Corbett was seeing there. It looks like two people were inside the paint cutting. A little bit of a miscommunication and a rare turnover from Corbett there.
Yeah, you saw Sam Boyd and Justin Familetti simultaneously cutting across at the same time. They were going to probably run into each other if they both went for that pass.
Now here's Ilias Medios. Back to, this is Jaden Hector on the top of the key. The freshman guarded by Ethan Lyles. Drives inside and a foul call. That's going to be on Ethan Lyles. He looks a little confused about that call.
Foul is on number 32, Ethan Lyles.
As Brendan Williams now in the game for Ethan Lyles. That's Ethan Lyles' second, as he will be subbed out here. You wonder, with the Bells off double digits, will they see him again in this ball game? But right now, sticking with the unit of Corbett, Chan, Williams, Familetti, and Sam Boyd. Sort of three-guard lineup with Familetti, Corbett, and Sam Boyd. Here is Jaden Hector, guarded by Luca Chan. Here's a three-pointer for the Fighting Irish. That is off. That is Cooper Ellis. Couldn't knock that down, airballed that. We've seen a lot of that from the Fighting Irish here today.
Well, the student section will let them know.
Here's Brennan Williams to Sam Boyd. Back to Brennan Williams. And now here's Justin Familetti. Corbett on the corner here. You gotta watch him. Corey Wong not even looking at the ball. He's just looking at his man, Will Corbett, making sure he doesn't get the basketball. Unable to successfully deny him from the basketball. Here's Will Corbett to drive inside. Now driving again. Takes a second try at it. Justin Familetti in the corner. Back to Sam Boyd. Sam Boyd back to Corbett. And a great defensive play from Corey Wong as he'll hold the basketball. The shot clock will not run out. Inside is Ilias Medios. Looks like Corey Wong got the basketball before the shot clock ran out. Held the ball. Good fast break opportunity and great passing from the Fighting Irish there.
Sure, I think some of the Bells gave up when they heard the horn, and you can't do that. You got to play through the whistle, play through the horn.
There's a Corbett three, and he knocks it down. The Bells tie their largest lead of the game with the three on that shot.
And you haven't seen it too much tonight, but a lot of times the Bells will set a screen away so that Will Corbett can get off of his man, create some separation without the ball, and then he's open for those catch-and-shoot looks.
There's a three-pointer from Ilias Medios. He tries to answer, doesn't go. And now with under 3 minutes, the probability of a comeback from these Fighting Irish, even though they've stayed within 11 this entire game. Now the lead is 13, and a timeout for the Fighting Irish. The probability of a comeback significantly diminishing as time goes on in this game.
The Bells have done a good job steadily adding to their lead. Really this entire second half, but especially this fourth quarter. They've come on, they've added some more points. They've had a couple of good defensive possessions, outside of that one shot clock confusion. But I think that this is a really good job from the Bells coming out in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, great start from the Bells. They finally got their largest lead of the game, and we talked about throughout this game how they need to break away. Well, the Bells are starting to do that now, up 13, and one more basket with this time running out at 2:26 will put this game away. It looks like the Fighting Irish. Looks like they'll bring back Kieran Tate-Day, who's seen a lot of action with. He's going to try and get the Fighting Irish back in this game as a last effort to make a comeback. Looking forward, what do you think the Bells have next up on their calendar?
Yeah, so if we take a look at the Bellarmine calendar, next game, they will have the Junipero Serra Padres at Serra. Serra, always a tough spot to play at. You know, with those referees, you're never going to get any calls. And just a really tough gym to play in as well. So we'll see how they do up in San Mateo on Tuesday.
Now here's Andre Daniels as we get back to the Bells right now, playing Sacred Heart. As here's a three from Corey Wong, knocks it down. That's his fourth of the game, and it's a 10-point game here. They've got to press up if they want any chance at this comeback. Now under 2 minutes to go. Will Corbett, the drive inside, floats it up and in. Those are the type of plays that we see from Will Corbett. As a fast break opportunity for the Fighting Irish. Jaden Hector blocked by Brennan Williams. Oh my goodness, the chase down block. And that might seal it. Time running out. Corbett floats it up and in. The largest lead of the game for the Bells at 14. The Fighting Irish still fighting here. Is a three-pointer on the way from Jaden Hector. That doesn't go. That's better than some of the misses we've seen from him today. As the Bellarmine Bells with that Brennan Williams block and that Will Corbett floater might have just put this game away. And there's a chance we could see Jake Hutkins, Jericho Kabiabiab in the game. Hagios Jerome in this game.
And I think that block from Brennan Williams was a true statement block. Even though, like, he, you know, young freshman, you don't get that on me. Great block from him.
Now we see Benbow in the game for the first time tonight as the Fighting Irish start fouling. Doesn't look like it'll make any difference, though. As the Bells look towards their next matchup with Serra. What exactly is that matchup going to look like?
Yeah, Serra's got a really good player guarded Wyatt Blanco. The Bells are going to have to find a way to slow him down, but, you know, the Bells also have Will Corbett. So I think it'll be a really good matchup. The Bells won a close one here earlier in the season. And I think anytime you play in Serra, it's always going to be a competitive game. You know, you've got Bellarmine and you've got Serra, the two all-boys schools in the WCAL division. You know there's going to be that battle, that energy in that gym. So I look forward to that matchup on Tuesday.
As we see Benbow in the game, looks like he is about to shoot some free throws for the Bells, trying to get his first points of the game. Just a couple minutes after getting in. As for the Fighting Irish, they did put up a good fight today, were physical early, played fast, but at the end of the day, one team's 1-8, and the other team are the Bellarmine Bells, who have time and time again proved that they can win on this home floor. As Benjamin Lowe knocks down the first free throw. Doesn't look like Coach Charette has considered putting in any of the other juniors who don't usually play, that being Hagios Jerome, Dylan Baird, Jake Hutkins, and those type of players. As Benbow played as a sophomore on varsity. This is his second year on varsity for Bellarmine. As here's Andre Daniels. This is their largest lead of the game at 16. I mean, we talked about how the Bells needed to increase their deficit. That's a foul on Brennan Williams. That was a little unnecessary from the Bells, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't think that's really necessary. You've got a minute left, and now you're going to see Dylan Baird check in. He'll get his first varsity minutes.
Dylan Baird.
As Williams is one foul away from fouling out of this game.
As here is Corey Wong for the three. Won't go. Rebound goes to Jaden Hector. Puts it up and in. That's one of his first to go. We've seen a lot of misses. A lot of frustrating misses for the young freshman. But gets an and one there. Though it is a little too late. Isaiah Kennedy and Kyron Tate-Day check in. Pardon me if I've been mispronouncing his name.
For the three-point play.
As here is Jaden Hector on the free throw after the N1, knocks it down. So a good three-point play from Jaden Hector to end the night. As here is Luca Chan, they double Looks like the Fighting Irish are not going to give up on this game just yet, even though they're down 13 with just a minute to go. As Luca Chan will go to the line. That's Andre Daniels is third. I mean, we've seen now a 3-guard lineup with Daniels, Kennedy, and Kyrie Tate-Dang. These 3 guards have been putting up a great effort tonight, trying to get to the basket, trying to will their team back into this game, but it doesn't really matter when you have a great team like the Bells.
And we've talked a little bit about the Bells' upcoming schedule. You know, yesterday, or excuse me, tomorrow, they were scheduled to play against the Reardon Crusaders. There's a reschedule from last Saturday. And obviously, if you weren't here for the pregame, we went over that. There was a tuberculosis outbreak at Archbishop Reardon. Obviously, you hate to see that. Very rare.
Chan for 3, that won't go.
But you know, you hope that everybody there can get better and that the Crusaders can return to the floor pretty soon.
So if that matchup does end up occurring with Reardon and Bellarmine, what would that matchup look like, you think?
You know, I think it would be a lot of Reardon and some more Reardon. Reardon's a very good team. You know, they're very tall, very big, very physical, and they can play all 5 positions. They got amazing players everywhere, freshman through senior. They've got everything you could possibly ask for in a basketball team. I think they're currently ranked 3rd in California, and we'll see if they'll still be allowed to play in the playoffs now that they've had this illness.
Luca Chan on the first free throw, the sophomore on varsity. With Luca Chan being a sophomore on varsity, that tells us a lot about the future of Bellarmine basketball. Can you tell us a little more about what this Bellarmine team will look like next year?
Yeah, this Bellarmine team is loaded up with seniors currently, but they've got a lot of good sophomores and I think 6 juniors on the bench currently. So right now, I think that the Bells have a pretty solid outlook for the future. You are losing Will Corbett and pretty much your entire starting lineup. You're losing Corbett, Williams, Ethan Lyles, J.J. Barton, all these names that have been great for the program over the last, 2, 3, even 4 years with Corbett.
So coming in is Jericho Kayabiab,
number 13,
and Hakiel Jerome.
number 1.
So now the juniors in the game for the Bells. It's Ben Bowe, Jake Hudkins, and those guys. Here's Jaden Hector on the mid-range jumper. That goes in. He scored 5 straight for the Fighting Irish. You love to see those go in for someone who's been struggling all night, as Jake Hudkins will get the foul. And he will go to the line. Trying to get the score to be 67 for the Bells.
Sacred Heart Cathedral's 15th foul.
Yeah, we'll see as Jake Hudkins heads to the line. His first appearance tonight.
Hudkins, the lefty, star on JV last year. Hasn't necessarily been a star on varsity this year, but next year, definitely going to be different when it comes to playing time. Definitely got the talents to be that shifty guard that this team needs. As Jake Hudkins knocks down the first, misses the second. As here is Sacred Heart Cathedral on the drive inside, and a foul call. That is Alex Salazar. Haven't seen him much today, but he'll go to the line, try to get his first points of the game
Number
for the Fighting Irish.
Salazar to the line, shooting 2.
The Salazar will knock down the first. And for Sacred Heart, I mean, you see Jaden Hector, he's got a couple of baskets here in this garbage time period, but he is the lone freshman on this varsity basketball team. What do you see for the future of them?
Yeah, I think they've landed a great young player here in Jaden Hector. And if he can continue to play like this throughout the whole season and moving forward in his career at the St. Art Cathedral, I think they could be looking at, that player to build around for the future.
So you love to see that Jericho Kabiab three-pointer there. Someone who doesn't necessarily get many minutes on this varsity basketball team being able to knock that down. And you saw his teammates very happy for him there. Some you don't see it. Something about that Bellarmine brotherhood. As there was a drive and finish by Dejon Mayfield. Hagios Jerome will go to the line. Was that a technical foul on the Fighting Irish?
Yes, it was.
So here is Hagios Jerome. He knocks down the first. Again, you see the crowd very happy for that man. These guys who don't necessarily get many minutes on varsity, now finally getting the taste of that. And Hagio's drum knocks down both. Bells lead by 16. You hope they hold it out here for good sportsmanship as the Bells will finally get that much needed win that extends their win streak from 4 to 4, Their first win this month on this home floor of Wayne Patrick Memorial. We would have saw it done against Reardon, but unfortunately it didn't happen. What a great game for the Bells as they move on next to Lunapero Serra next. We'll see if that Reardon game eventually gets rescheduled when that tuberculosis crisis eventually comes down.
So after tonight's game, if we take a look at our standings, we have Archbishop Reardon still holding strong in that first place spot. As we'll turn the camera over to us. So as we're saying, Reardon's still in first place, and you got St. Ignatius, and then Bellarmine and Mitty are fighting for that third spot currently. Mitty came out here a couple weeks ago and beat the Bells pretty big, but then last Tuesday, this past Tuesday, we went over to Mitty and we took down the Monarchs by 1. Thanks to a great performance from Will Corbett and Sophion Stringfellow. So, you're hoping that the Bells can get up to that three seed and get to this open division for the playoffs, where they can be competing for CCS title. Well, you got anything else, Arjun?
Nope, I think it was a great game, and thank you for joining us on Bellarmine Sports, and we'll see you at the next home game.
Just a reminder that Reardon game has been canceled, and it will not occur. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name's Kellen Donahue. Tonight I'm joined by Arjun Raman. We're signing out. Go Bells.